Hey everyone, it's Dylan with CT Aquatics, and today I'm going to be giving you an overview of our new Frag system and showing you all of the equipment that we use to get this running. So firstly, I would like to talk about the tanks themselves. This system consists of 3 75-gallon tanks. They are 4 feet long by 2 feet wide by about 15 inches tall. And we got these tanks from Planet Aquariums. The stands for this system are custom made by me. They are made out of 2x4s and plywood, just like we have built some stands before. And again, I built 3 stands. Next, we built the sump. This was made out of a 60-gallon breeder and a kit from Fiji Cube. And so we built this in a custom manner so that we could fit everything that we needed equipment-wise. Before we go on to the equipment that's in the sump, I would just like to go back and show some of the plumbing that went into getting this all running. One of the first things we did to get the tanks plumbed up was actually to drill the back of the tanks and install these super low profile overflow boxes that we got from eShops. So inside the tank, it's only about 1/2 inch to maybe 3/4 of an inch tops, and it doesn't take up nearly any space. And then out the back, we have the actual box where all of our plumbing can go to our sump. For the plumbing itself, each tank has 3 drain lines, a main drain that's in yellow, a secondary drain that we have in orange, and an emergency drain in red. The reason I picked these colors are because, well, they're the colors of our logo. And then for the return line, I used blue, again, because it's in our logo. All of the tanks are plumbed in a similar manner. The middle one obviously being much shorter of a run because it all drains down into the sump directly below. Now I'll go through the sump and all of its equipment. So starting in our first chamber of the sump, we simply just have 3 filter socks. 1 filter sock for each tank. We have the main and secondary drain line just going right into the filter socks, just to keep it simple. So you can see that's the first chamber. And then we also have our probes from the Hydros controller. Going into the second chamber, we have our 2 300-watt BRS heaters. These are controlled by the Hydros. We then have our Reef Octo 200 Space Saver protein skimmer. And you can see that this is working quite well as the collection cup is nearly full. If you would like to check out the video that I have on unboxing this, you can click the link here. Moving forwards, we have this small Seche pump that is feeding through our carbon reactor. This is a bulk reef supply deluxe reactor. The reason I chose this reactor is because of how simple it is to use and how cheap it is. You really can't go wrong with this reactor. And the reactor feeds water back into the return chamber. Going back to the second chamber, we also have 4 giant marine pure blocks. This is the main media that we have in the tank. Going to the other side of the sump, we have another Seche pump that is feeding our aqua ultraviolet UV sterilizer. I do want to redo the plumbing on this first part of the sterilizer to match the output that we have here, but I'm just missing 1 barb fitting. That should be coming soon in the mail, and then I'll have this all matching. But after the water flows through the sterilizer, it also returns into the last chamber of the sump. Going into the last chamber of the sump, we have our Tunzi osmolator. This is the new version of the osmolator. Tunzi's auto top-offs are some of the best in my opinion, and this new version is living up to the name so far. The new sensor seems to work great, and then if we come over here, we have a 10-gallon tank as our ATO reservoir, and the new pump is the main attraction of this, and this has been working fantastically. Moving back to the return chamber, we have 3 return pumps, which are all CJ 5.0s, and these have been working great. They return the water through 3 sets of nylon tubing that leads to PVC, and each one of these pipes feeds one of the tanks. Coming up to the tank itself, only one tank actually has equipment in it right now, as this is going to be the first tank that we fill with coral. Once this one starts to get full, we will start to add the equipment to the other tanks, as some of it can be expensive and there's no need to buy it right now, as the tanks are going to remain empty until I need the space for, again, more coral frags. So simply we just have egg crate as our frag racks. This is the cheapest way to build frag racks. We just use zip ties and then pieces of PVC pipe as the feet. For the flow pumps, we have 2 Octopulse 4 pumps from Reef Octopus. So far, these have been working great. I do have an unboxing video on these that you can see here if you have not already. And again, these have been working great since I unboxed them. I have no complaints so far. Under the frag rack, we have one more pump, which is a Max Spec Geyer 350. I put this upside down actually just so that it would shoot water across the entire bottom of the tank. And it's kind of hard to tell because there is some algae growing on the glass right now, but there's actually no detritus that's been able to settle on the bottom, even at the far end of the tank. So other than algae, this tank is pretty much spotless, and that's because of this Max Spec Geyer. And then moving up, we finally come to the lighting on this tank. And we are using Ecotech Radion XR30 Gen 6, which is one of my favorite lights. On other tanks, we also have AI primes and a few Red Sea lights, but these are by far my favorite in terms of color spectrum and controllability. So this is what I plan to use on this system going forward. So there you go. You've gotten to see me go through this whole frag system and show you exactly what we use to get this running. Hope you enjoyed what you saw, and remember, if you enjoy our content, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications to join us on our journey through the sea. Thanks for watching.